so that it is streaming a player's view instead of streaming the DM screen. So it's, I don't know, less spoilery. Not that it makes much of a difference right now. Give Mr. Sinestra a minute or so to get on here. So how was your day, Miss Lacuna?
Did not get as much sleep as I was hoping to.
That's always a bummer.
Feels kind of par for the course these days.
Yeah, it seems to be about where I'm at as well.
Hello.
Hello.
Heidi ho. With that, the party's all here. Minus Joe.
Now.
Bum bum ba-dum, bum bum.
And I ordered some food and they're an hour late.
It seems to always be the case with where you're at, man.
Yeah.
Is it just because you're out in the middle of Bumble, or they suck at directions?
They just suck at directions. This dude drove in a circle for 30 minutes.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah. Well, he'll be here soon.
Well, there you go.
Hope and pray.
Oh,
Maybe you'll luck out and you'll get doubled down on food again.
I doubt it. It'd be nice, but we'll find out.
Last time I ordered Domino's, I just wanted one of those chicken carbonara pasta dishes, so I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna get
both
that.
had that happen. We both ordered at the same time.
Yeah. I ordered it like 3 nights ago, right? When Kevin was his mother. It's Tuesday night I ordered it. And it was like 30 minutes late, right? And I finally got a message from like, hey, we're on our way. We apologize for the day that we had some mix-ups. And they got here, and the guy was like, so she messed up the order twice. And I was like, how do you mess it up? She goes, well, the first time she didn't put any mushrooms in it. The second time she put a ton of bacon in it. The third time she got it right. And I was like, okay. And he goes, so you got three.
That's funny.
I was like, all right, sure. Oh man. All right. Oh, I don't think Lacuna's gonna miss too much here. I think we ended the last game with you guys just basically hunkering down over a meal for the night, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys
And
want?
also telling all these farmer scrubs to go get some clothes from upstairs.
Right. Telling them all to go get changed and the like.
They're the new cult leaders.
You're the new cultists of doom.
Yeah.
Oh man. Can I? Welcome back. Hopefully that will mute that. And we'll go with that. Alrighty. So anyway, we ended last game with you guys as Sinestra just summed up here. Sinestra telling the people you rescued, the farmers and like, to go basically pillage what was left of the clothes of the previous residents of this tower. Finishing up your meal for the night. Is there anything you guys want to do before we fast forward it to the morning?
Drink more ale.
How much ale are you drinking so far?
I don't know.
1 cup, 2 cups.
Roll a dice for me.
He's been watched very closely.
I tell you what, roll a d10. We'll see how many mugs of ale you've drinking so far.
Damn.
You only
Two
had
cups.
2.
On my screen it landed on 10.
It looks like you got a 2 on the thing here, though.
Here's my D10.
Oh, hacks.
You rolled 1.
I got a 1. I drank 1.
Lacuna got
Lacuna's
s-
already down half the keg.
Damn.
Lacuna, I need you to roll a con save.
Stress drinking.
That's exactly what it is. What's my con modifier?
0.
Okay, what am I rolling?
Just a
one
D20. You can add 3 to it.
Ooh.
So
Oh,
that'd be
you
a
are.
12.
You're getting you're starting to feel it. You're a little lightheaded. You're not quite to the point where you're completely smashed or getting sick, but you definitely feel like you should slow down.
Jeez. I mean, Zirio was right. This stuff is garbage. It's like drinking like piss water. Paps.
Can I cheer her on to drink more?
Yes, you can
Oh,
absolutely do that.
How would I do
you
that?
can.
It's going to be a
I'm gonna shove
persuasion
another
roll.
mug into your hand.
Uh,
While you are saying this stuff is piss and swill, Sinestra, you see Zirio's got another bottle of his wine. He's just slowly sipping out of it.
11.
He's sneaking out.
11. I'm gonna say
Do I roll a 1d20 plus my
I'm
persuasion?
gonna finish my cup, and
you're gonna roll an insight roll against him. So you do a D20 plus 5.
me.
No, Lacuna.
Oh, okay.
Nope, you think it's a great idea to keep drinking more.
Excellent.
The
I'm
stress.
gonna mutter under my breath. Good. Get her drunk so I can steal her books.
Excuse me.
You need to
Don't you
roll.
still have the yellow mushroom?
Um, yes, he still has a yellow mushroom. Your passive perception, you would have at least heard something of it, though you are to the point where you're starting to get incoherently drunk. You're not quite sure what he said. You did catch the word something about your books, though.
Can I
Does this
go-
send her into a drunken rage?
I don't know.
Can
Let's
I
find out.
can I go walk up to him and try to persuade him to tell me what he said?
You can go do that. Go for it. This is a dialogue between you guys. Just talk.
What's with these shitty rolls?
So what are you saying to him?
Do I
What'd
even
you
need to roll
say?
against this?
What did you say? About what?
I've just said I'm glad you got all your books.
Another drink for the books.
Your passive insight would beat her persuasion roll, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said
suspiciously.
glad she got all the books. I chose to
suspiciously-
lie.
You're a dick, is what you are. I suspiciously go back to drinking.
Make another con save for me.
She's gonna have to start rolling dexterity checks.
The additional drinks have not phased you one bit. You are still on that little bit of you're riding the buzz. You're starting to get a little tipsy, but you have an understanding of what's going on still around you, though you may not be catching all of it. Oh man. While you are continuing to drink the Sullen Ale, you've reached the bottom of the cask at this point. There is maybe half a cup worth of ale sloshing around at the bottom of it.
I'm going to lift the keg up or the cask and say, "All right, dwarf, get over here. You're finishing it off."
No, it's mine.
All
It's
right.
mine.
I'll
That's
wait
it.
this one out.
Give to
Go.
me.
And I'm just gonna dump it into her mouth.
I'll have to roll a dex save to see if I can actually catch it.
Yeah.
Sinestro, you need to roll dex as well.
Does he need to
Oh,
roll
crap,
strength
hold
for this?
No, he's trying
on.
to aim.
+3.
So you got 14. Lacuna, what's your dex? Oh man.
Oh.
Damn.
So you're a little shaky with your pour, but she gets out of there and she's determined to get this ale. So she's adjusting herself to catch it all.
It's mine.
All right, now roll your con save.
One more con save. Nope.
You're done for.
You sit last. You let out a little burp and just poof, pass out on the floor where you were.
I
Oh,
promptly take
the
all of
pretty
her books.
lights. The pretty lights.
Didn't she set her cat as like the watch guardian or something?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
but
Her cat is on sentry mode and it is now sitting on top of her chest. It's, with one paw, it's poking at her face, and it's just sitting there looking up at you with this low
I
mechanical
have
growl.
the keen sense to go ahead and I'm gonna pick up a small pebble or something along the ground and toss it to the cat. And with the pebble, I'm going to take one of her books.
You're such a dick.
So as you throw the pebble, the cat turns. There's a flash in its eyes. It opens its mouth, and a jet of acid spits out and coats the rock and puts a little pit in the ground. And it turns and flashes back at you. Its paw lashes out onto your hand as you try to take the book.
Well, I mean, yep, I'm done.
Best cat ever.
And after that, it just sits there again, a low mechanical growl, and it's just patting and poking at Lacuna's nose, trying in vain to wake her up. Oh man. So
I'm going to take the cup. I'm going to take all the cups if everyone's done with them and just start placing it around it so it looks like that she just drank everything.
go for it.
And I'm going to take the keg and place it right by her head.
Alright. So when you finish doing this, let's see, there are 11 mugs precariously placed encircling Lacuna on the upper half of her body, as well as the keg is just kind of like on its side, half under the table. What little remnants of ale that were left in it are kind of dribbling and drizzling out, soaking your hair.
All in a day's work.
Zerio's still sitting in his chair, sipping from his bottle of wine. That's fucking brilliant. Oh man. Clavin gets up. I'm going to bed. He just goes and steps in one of the side rooms and goes to bed.
I think I'll go as well. And I would move her, but you know, all the ale and the cup and the potentially a life-threatening cat.
During the time when you guys did start drinking and encouraging Lacuna to drink more, Orzo just like petered off in his old age and went and passed out somewhere quietly. The rest of the farmhands had been cheering on your drunken exuberance, are now starting to wind down. Is there anything else from the rest of you guys before you call her a night?
Yeah, not for me.
I burped slightly in my drunken stupor before going back to snoring.
I like it. So you're passed out in the middle of the floor. The various farm hands get themselves up off the table here and go find rooms to rest in. The two young women bumble their way upstairs to some of the more lavish rooms to find some peaceful sleep for the night. Zirio makes his way up to the captain's quarters and rumbles around. Rummages through the desk here a little bit before calling it a night himself. I'm assuming Sin's not answering. Maybe his phone finally came. So with that, we will fast forward it to the morning. I'm just going to say Sin went and found himself a bed to go to sleep in somewhere.
He doesn't sleep. He just stares awake.
Oh, that's right, he doesn't. He wanders aimlessly. Oh, here, I'll leave him down here then for him to wander aimlessly. Beyond that, morning comes to the group. Some of you wake a little more well rested than others.
What's well rested? I don't sleep.
Fair enough. As I was saying, some of you wake a little more well rested than others. You guys wish to convene somewhere before heading out for the day?
Oh, I'm eating breakfast.
It's not a bad idea.
Oh
I've
my
got it.
head.
I've got it right here with me.
So the party once again assembles in the dining room for breakfast. The Kuna still passed the F out in the middle of the floor. The mechanical cat watching throughout the night, its tail twitching every now and then, and once in a while it pokes at the
I
Kuna's
backed right
forehead.
out of that. That was not. Your cat is so nice.
Lacuna, you awake, so I'm going to say around 10 o'clock or so in the morning at this point, to the incessant sound of your mechanical cat growling and hissing slow and rumbling at the little white blue dotted cat that Zirio keeps following around himself and is just poking and batting at the cat's tail from the side of your body. As you come to, there are 11 mugs strewn about your body, and you are laying in what's remnants of the puddle of ale that has slowly seeped out of the cask the night before.
Why did you leave me like this? Fuck.
You looked comfortable.
You couldn't have rolled me over to
Some of us
somewhere
could pick you
drier.
up.
Your cat wouldn't let anyone get near you.
Why didn't you just wake me up?
You see all those cups?
I hate you all.
You drank it, not us.
Oh yeah, she definitely drank it.
Oh, I try to rouse myself up to an upright position.
As you sit up, you have a pounding headache. There's a sharp spike of pain in the back of your skull.
Now you can have a hangover and a hangover.
Where's my boomstick? I need to shoot Sinestro.
Shoot at me, just because you drank too much.
Well, pushing the cleared plate further into the center of the table and scooting himself away from the table, Zero gets up and walks out of the room, making his way down the steps to the lower ends of the hallway and out to the front door, preparing
I'm
things for
back.
the rest of the day. Welcome back.
Thank
I'm going to get ready to travel to town here. Have fun getting your stuff together, princess.
Fuck you too.
you. You want the keg as a reminder?
And carry it around with her for the rest of the
There's still one
campaign.
downstairs.
Bit of the hair of the dog.
Water.
There's probably some left downstairs too.
Alright, I'm gonna attempt to make my way safely downstairs to get some really cold water, both to drink and clean myself up.
Roll the dex check.
Wait, what's happening?
She's trying to make her way down the steps.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Not with that roll.
I accidentally trip.
She rolled a natural 20. I don't think you're going to try and trip her.
Oh, I said I accidentally tripped myself.
Oh, trip yourself. Gotcha. Well, Lacuna, you managed to bumble your way down the steps, using the wall to brace yourself and find your way into the kitchen to get yourself a drink for the evening or the day to fight off your little hangover here.
I fill my cup to the brim with cool water, drink it all down, then fill it up again and pour it over my head.
That's one way to start the day.
Are there any flasks in here?
Yeah, rummaging around the counter easily enough you can find there are 3 flasks there on the counter. 2 of them seem to be made of like some cheap tin. One of them is made of like a stainless steel. It's got like
I'll take the stainless steel.
it's got a fancy little emblem carved on the side of it though. You've got no clue what the hell it means.
I'll take the stainless steel.
Alrighty, you got a flask, steel flask. So the rest of the party bumbles their way down to the kitchen, getting together some supplies and foods and rations and the like for the road, making your way over to Red Larch. From what you recall, Lacuna, it's roughly a 6 hour or so walk from the tower to the town, as you have no mounts to get you there.
Can I check the stables real quick? Or the lower floor?
Yeah, go for it.
I can't get there though.
Oh.
No windows.
Nope, it's just got doors. Oh man, here, I'll move the doors out of the way for you.
I was just checking to see if any of the mounts decided to come back for whatever.
It does not look like it as you make your way down through the stable, open up the few remaining stalls that had been locked or held shut. None of the beasts appear to be there. All the exterior doors of the tower are still firmly held shut.
Is there anything interesting among the boxes?
Roll a investigation check.
Where did my page go? +6, so 18.
All right, so rummaging around through the boxes, you find a suit of +1 leather armor. It's got magical enchantment on it. There was a little box in there. Inside, it was a decorative wooden box. Inside of it, as you cracked it open, there was a note in there that read, "To my darling Joffrey, hope this keeps you safe out there on the front line. Good luck in your hunt."
I'll take it and stow it. I have an idea who might get this later.
All right.
And if there's nothing else, I'll head back up.
No, beyond that, you find there's various weapons. There's a couple of bows and arrows, a crossbow, roughly 200 bolts and/or arrows. A mixture of both of them. You do find a cup. There are three empty boxes that look like they had at one point held potions, though all that's left in them are empty bottles and vials, or nothing at all.
I'll head upstairs then.
Alrighty, tug you back up here.
I'm in a different room than he was in, right?
Yeah, you're up in the kitchen right now, getting yourself some water and washing yourself up.
Alright. Have I sobered up any?
Yeah, after about 3 minutes or so of just frantically chugging water, you do need to take a piss really bad now, but you feel pretty sober.
Okay. Before I go out to relieve myself, can I look around to see in the kitchen if there's anything that might be worth taking with us on our travels back?
Yeah, sure. You rummage around the closet or the kitchen. There are several wooden crates, boxes, and the like. They're just packed full of various vegetables, some dried meats. You find a couple of bags of oats and like nuts, fruits, and the like that would probably be good to take with you on travel. There are two tin flasks sitting on the counter from where um, Sander had dug around and managed to claim his steel flask. They both appear to be empty. There is now half a cask of somewhat cool water, and then one more full barrel of that ale you had imbibed the night before.
Alright, well, can I take some of the, nuts and fruits and maybe fill up the flasks with the semi-cool water to take with us?
Yeah, easy enough.
Well, take with me anyways.
Yep, so you do have your um bag of holding. I think can hold 500 pounds. So if you really wanted to, you could just drop the crates of food in there, take all of it with you.
How much does Sinestro weigh? Can I stuff him in here too?
You can, but he'll suffocate after a while.
I'm okay with that. But no, for now, I will take the food and the water. We'll leave the ale. I think I've had enough.
That's what they all say.
All right. Well, there are three crates of just various vegetables: onions, cabbages, tomatoes, leeks, potatoes, and the like. Um, they're kind of divided up by different canvas bags that are just set inside of the crates. Um, there was one crate that looks to be full mostly of apples. You can see a couple of oranges in there. You're not too sure how fresh they are or how long it's been sitting there, but it's there if you want to take it. And then the keg or cask of water that's sitting there that's half full, there is no lid on that.
You said there were a couple of little flasks, though, weren't there?
Yeah, there are two tin flasks on the counter. Picking it up and looking it over, think you might be able to fit like a cup and a half worth of water in there.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, and you could easily stow those like on like a belt loop or something like that if you wanted to do that. While you're busying yourself gathering these things and getting them together, take out your portable bag, your bag of holding, and set it up on the the counter in front of you after clearing some of the spices off the side, making room for it to sit there. And you just begin picking the crates up and slowly lowering them into it. And it's still a very odd sensation to you to watch these things just kind of disappear into the blackness of the bag. But after 5 or 10 minutes,
Ooh,
go ahead.
we just watching stuff drop into the bag.
After 5 or 10 minutes or so of you just slowly lowering things in there, you've got what you think is probably like a week and a half or so supply worth of food for roughly 6 people, if you cared enough to share it.
We'll see.
While you were doing that, Orzel, Zirio, and Kalabin had been busying themselves about the kitchen. They packed various bits of bread and dried fruit and meat and the like into their bags and pouches and such. That little cat that Zirio has been carrying around, she's bouncing about the kitchen, knocking random shit off the counters and nibbling at things. Every now and then he tries to say, "Hey, stop, stop!" Damn cat. He eventually just goes and picks it up by its scruff and shoves it in his belt pouch. Um, Back in the little waist-bound belt pouch he kind of had outfitted out to keep the cat somewhat comfortable. Puts the rest of his dry goods in his pack and makes his way out of the room, heading outside of the tower.
Fucking. What's all the food?
Lacuna packed it up for us,
Packed it up for me.
as Orzol says as he walks out, chopping on an apple and sipping from a water skin.
I'll fill up my water skin and took my flask. And before I forget, I'll take out them of the three of my large worm teeth that I got earlier, and I'll hand them to Sinestro.
All right, easy enough. So, Sinestri, you now have 3 large purple worm teeth. If you want to make note of that somewhere on your sheet. Oh. So whenever
I'm
you
gonna head out.
already got your food and supplies, you're ready to roll out.
Yeah, but mostly because I know I've already ransacked this place, so there's not much.
Wasn't there that one room you couldn't get into because of a certain someone?
There is that one room that remains
I'm gonna
locked.
go.
It's over. Yeah, it's that door right there to the south of you.
I say, Cereal, come here real quick.
What's up? What you need?
I ask him if he can unlock it.
I can give it a shot. What's this guy's skills app for that? Pulls out his lockpick tools from his belt pouch, and after a few seconds, you hear a distinctive click as a latch swings free. And the door swings open.
What is in here?
Looks like an armory.
I'm going to rifle through all this stuff.
Rifle through
Being
all of
useful.
this shit.
Can we all rifle through stuff?
Oh, I'm closing the door behind me.
You want to close the door behind you?
Just me and Cereal.
All right. So you take the door and you close it behind you. And you're gonna throw
Lock
the lock. All right. Throws the lock.
Here.
Oh.
All right.
Oh man.
It's so weird. Is it like that for you? It says 2014.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that thing doesn't always land on the right side. Um. So rummaging through their weapons locker here, you don't find anything too impressive. There are 4 suits of scale mail armor, 4 heavy iron shields, um, 4 rather serviceable looking helmets, 3 longbows, one crossbow, 4 quivers. Each quiver has got 20 arrows or 20 bolts in it. And then along the northern wall to the left of the door that you came in, there is a weapon rack, and on the rack hangs 4 longswords.
That I would think was useful to anyone in the party.
Nothing that really comes to mind. I mean, looking at it, they're all fairly decent goods. You do recall that you guys had made an agreement with the dwarves at the gearworks back in Red Larch to bring them back some weapons and or armor to in exchange for goods and services. So if you wanted to try and
Open it. Hey, Lakuna,
What?
come here.
she opens the door to the armory.
What do you
I don't have
want?
the door. Come here.
I'm here. What do you want?
All
And
right,
I hit him with great suspicion.
all right, I'm gonna move you down so that you're actually standing outside the door now.
All right, get in here. And I grab her. I close the door and I lock it. I look at her and say, "This needs to go in your bag.
What is this?
This whole room,
Excuse
everything in
me.
here.
I turn
You gotta
around
take it
and
back to
leave.
your friends. It's locked."
He locked the door as he pulled you in.
Okay, I attempt to leave.
You turn around and go to pull the lever on the door, and you're still not quite coherent after your night of drinking. You are sober, but things just aren't clicking as quick as they should be. And you're like, I want it open.
I was gonna say, it's your friends that want this stuff.
What? Random weapons and armor?
Yeah.
They said in exchange for giving Orzo a discount on his new boots, we should bring him some unenchanted pieces of equipment if we find any.
You can
Fine.
practice.
Can I poke around a little bit more to see if I can find something else?
In this room?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Investigation check. While you're doing that, Zerio's just gonna grab a couple of long swords off the wall and flip them into his some empty sheaths on his hip. I'll carry some of the load.
I'm gonna go out and, since this is probably gonna take a few minutes, I'm gonna go inside and get the cask, roll it outside, and start.
Start drinking.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
rolled.
Yeah, you rolled all right. Rummaging around through the little tidbits and the stuff, you do manage to find underneath one of the tables. Kind of, it looks like someone made an attempt to hide it. There are like three cloaks and a bag that have just been thrown on top of it. Um, Rifling under it, you do find a shield that looks a little shinier than the rest of them. Um, the crest of the North Ward of Waterhaven is etched on the front of the shield.
Interesting. Alrighty. I guess I will put everything in my bag.
I don't remember what was all there. I will take the crossbow and the belt and the bolts.
Okay, so add
Carry it.
one crossbow and 20 bolts to your inventory. Bum bum bum. Do that for Lacuna.
How big is this crossbow?
I mean, it's a sizable crossbow. It's like a regular sized crossbow.
Like a light one?
No,
Or a heavy one?
it's a full on like heavy crossbow. Like it looks as though it would punch through a suit of armor if you had the proper bolts in it.
I have the proper bolts.
There are 20 rather nasty, heavy looking bolts in your bag or in the quiver. You feel like they'll probably punch a hole through something. I'm going to adjust Lacuna's weight here since I'm putting things in the bag of holding. Give me a second.
bolts are a pound apiece.
Yeah, no, they're not light. They add up
No,
quick.
it's an actual container.
There should be a quiver in one of the containers somewhere. Alrighty, so you guys have ransacked the armory here. Lacuna, your bag of holding is damn near to the maximum capacity at this point as you have shoved everything in there.
You're all welcome. Can I
Well done.
leave now?
As you say that, Zero just locked the door open and walked out. He's making his way outside. Coming outside, you do see Sandor sitting there, just drinking from the cask. Have you been drinking heavily, or are you just sipping at a single mug of this stuff?
Just sipping.
Alright. With that, is everybody ready to get the hashtag out of here?
Yep.
Yep.
Alrighty. So you guys come out of the oh so wonderful spire tower here and begin slowly following the road to the west. Your journey, for the most part, was uneventful. You come across a couple of critters off to the side of the road for a bit, but they really don't seem to pay you any mind. Seeing you approach, they skitter off into the forest. Beyond that, are you trying to take this cask with you? Or are you just leaving it there on the side of the road?
I kick it and dump it on the road and continue on.
All right. So
Waste good. Never mind.
That was shit ale.
so you guys, are you gonna stop for a meal break, or are you just gonna walk the entire way straight there?
The whole way there.
Yeah, I feel since I have all those dried nuts and fruits, we can eat while we go.
Okay. So you guys kind of have a casual, albeit somewhat brisk walk, and uh, slowly make your way back to the village of Redgelarch, making your way into town. I'm gonna say it's mid-afternoon, maybe about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon by the time you guys arrive. Coming in along the eastern road of the town, you are now back in the small village of Redlarch.
The house still burned down? Did they rebuild it yet?
No, that house is it's a smoldering pile of wreckage.
Moldering.
Yeah, every now and then there are two guards still stationed at that road there. Um, from what you can see, looking up the winding path, there is one with a torch in one hand and a pitchfork in the other, and he's just poking at the ruins of the building. Every now and then he jumps a little bit, and shoves the torch into the ruins there, and pokes around a little bit more, kind of like shuffling the embers about.
I'm gonna give them the finger guns and say, "Hey boys."
Oh, Zeal. What do you want?
Nothing. I walk away.
Fucking adventurers.
That's murder hobo.
Well, that was nice. Um, as you are talking with them, Caladwin just rushes past you, walking very fast in a hastily step, making his way toward the center of town. He's in a hurry for some reason or another.
I'm gonna follow him.
Is Red
I'll
Larch
follow him too.
where my aunt's inn is?
No, your aunt's inn is south of Red Larch.
This is where the tinker shop is, though, right?
Yeah, Flint Forge's Gearworks is on the northern side of the town here.
Oh, I'm gonna head over that way then.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow Kyle with.
All right, so Caladwin makes his way. He just goes right toward the church, just straight down the main road, basically almost running to the church.
I look at Zero as I go to follow Caladwin. You might want to stick with her to explain that massive pile of stuff in her bag.
He just shrugs and nods. Orzol declares that he is exhausted and makes his way to the inn.
Only 60 now instead of 70.
Are you sure that's where he goes? You could have a call day across the street.
No,
Uh,
he's really feeling it today.
Sandor, as you approach the crossroads of town here, following Caladwin, you do see a stalwart-looking dragonborn standing in the crossroads among three other guards. They appear to be having a discussion about recent events or things that have turned up in the area.
Do I hear anything in particular?
You overhear talk about strange people rummaging around, skirting around the village at night, wearing interesting clothing. At least appears to be like ragged, tattered garbs. People that are just lost or like homeless.
Speaking of which, did the group of villagers follow us in?
Yeah, they followed you guys back to town.
Okay.
Um,
Where are they now? Where would they be now on the map? Did they just run off or?
the two women, the noble woman is following as close and briskly as she can behind Gladwin, but she's probably a good 100 yards or so behind him because he's walking at a brisk pace, and she's just
She's
not
with
used to
me
moving
then.
that fast. Yeah, she's probably walking with Sinestra. He's just barely coming up behind you. The
Hmm.
other woman that was the wife of that farmer you rescued, they're all making their way up toward the end with Orzol. It appears, from what you overhear, they're discussing about finding ways in transport to get themselves back to their home village. Um,
Ah,
they briefly discuss about, you overhear them mention trying to find their way back to Bellard to get back to their family.
The what?
Bellard.
Where? Got it.
Um, your knowledge of the area here from the reading you did in the history and looking over maps and stuff on your before making your way up to the area, you know that it is a small town that was it's a fairly old settlement that was originally established by the kingdom of dwarves, the Belsmar dwarves, before they just basically vanished from the area. It was meant to be a surface trading hub to connect their, underground fortresses to the surface to allow them to trade goods and whatnot. Sort of like what the Delzaun doors of Gauntlegrim and Mithril Hall have done to the north and the east of where you currently are. It was not quite successful for them, but this town still remains. You do know that following the long road north and turning east at Westbridge down the Stone Trail would get these people back to the town of Valar. And there are fairly common caravans and guards and whatnot escorting along the road here that can easily get them there if they feel so inclined to make their way back home without you guys inconveniencing yourselves further.
I'm gonna talk to the Dragonborn and ask them what they're talking about.
Sure. He turns. What do you want, Short One?
Oh, one.
Is that the some Dragonborn talking, or is it a guard?
That's the Dragonborn talking.
I may be short, but I'm not covered in scales.
He flashes you a toothy grin. He says, "You're probably tastier too."
I don't know about
It
that.
tastes like piss water. All the piss water you just drink.
You had some of it too.
It's got to be better than prison food.
Fair enough. Been weird stuff happening around in town lately.
Just groups of the townspeople are calling them cultists. They see them around the northeastern edge of town and the southeastern edge, basically just running around the eastern side of town. The few that have managed to catch them say they're They begin setting up some sort of bonfire or ritual. It's, from what I've seen of it, it looks like just a bunch of drunken revelry. To be honest, they're dancing around out there half naked, singing songs and throwing shit into a fire.
Actual shit.
I didn't get close enough, but it smelled kind of like it. Lacuna, I'm gonna move you north up to the Flint Forge Gearworks, since you said that's where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
Anything else for you? If not, move along. We're busy here.
I wave him goodbye and start heading up north.
All right. Kalabun has entered the All Faiths Chapel. The nobleman is following him in tow. This happened while you were talking to the Dragonborn.
Ah, do I see anything interesting along these buildings?
Not really. You are aware that this building off to the your left here is where a contact of your associates is stationed.
Ah, I'll visit him later. I need stuff I need to sell, so I'm gonna go up here.
Alrighty. Um, Lacuna, you make your way up to the Flint Forge Gearworks. The Flint Forge dwarves are in there. It's late afternoon and they're still busy at work, hammering away at the forge and um, chiseling at various tidbits and crafts and the like.
I walk in and greet everyone with a cheery hello.
Hey, Lacuna, where have you been? You just up and
Not
disappeared
so
one night.
much. Yeah, it's if you see Sinestro again, throw him into the fires. But I did bring you back something.
Oh, did you now?
I took some to upend the bag of holding and leave all the stuff I got from that armory all over the floor.
Okay, so you grab the bag of holding and you turn inside out to upend it. Everything in your bag falls the fuck out on the floor. Food, the water flasks, the armor, shields, and like just flying all over the floor in a big pile of mess.
I turn to them with a bright smile on my face.
Just like your mother. She comes around the counter and begins cleaning things up.
I hope there's something in here that's useful for you.
Yes, yes, dear. We'll be able to enchant these things and sell them to the local guard or some other adventurers coming through. Thank you. If you're not gonna help, can just get out of the way, please.
I move awkwardly to the side, and I'm very sad because I thought they would be more impressed with my haul, but clearly they're not.
It's probably tempered by the fact that you just dropped a bunch of fruit and vegetables all over the floor of the shop.
It was, I tried. It was my first adventuring trial. I didn't even have a choice.
Gray is laughing behind the counter where the forge is. Amber flashes him an angry stare and he just shuts up immediately. And he comes around the counter to help, patch on the shoulders. Well done, lass. Your room in the back is we left it as it was when you left.
Has anything happened since I was here?
Nothing too exciting. There was 3 nights back, a couple of hellhounds went bound rambling down Main Street. That Dragonborn fellow came out and made pretty quick work of them. Beyond that, nothing really.
Why would everyone be so afraid of the hellhounds?
Oh, I don't know. 4 foot tall dogs covered in fire, ramaging down the streets at night. We were all so as naive and innocent as you, child.
I choose to believe that's her inner tiefling coming through. Well, Father says that if you coat apples in sulfur, the hellhounds might be nice to you. Have you ever tried that?
I don't even want to know how your father knows that.
I run my hand self-consciously over my horns. Ditto idea.
You're not much, that's for sure. Is there anything we can do for you while you're here?
Stop being mad at me.
I'll tell you what. You help us pick up the rest of the stuff and get these. Is that an apple? Get it all back where it belongs, and we'll call it even.
Okay. And I get down to help start cleaning up.
All right. Sirio just picks up one of the apples and slowly eats it, watching you guys clean things up. Every now and then he points to like something in the corner. Beyond that, he's just quietly watching this whole thing happen. It takes you about 20 minutes or so of rummaging around the shop, picking up various bits of fruit and arrows and the like that just kind of rolled under counters and such. But after that, you guys get up to back up on your feet. You are now covered from head to toe in soot and dust. And returns to Grace. So, sweeping the shop every day, huh? His face turns beet red and he immediately goes behind the counter and grabs a broom and starts sweeping it out the front door.
Lacuna stares out into the distance because when she's not being actively antagonized by her group mates, she generally has no idea what's going on.
Do I see all this?
You come in you come in just in time to see Gray being admonished by the female dwarf Amber and begins sweeping dust out the front door. As he's sweeping, he's, oh, um, sir,
Do I look like a sir?
I don't know.
Howdy.
You're covered in bandages. Is your ass on fire?
Fair point. What do you say?
He's asked if you're on fire.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I kind of peer behind him and go, "What the hell happened in here?"
Last time the whole bag ass over to you, kid.
What last? And I look and see looking.
Yeah.
Was there any ale in that?
I give him the shittiest look I can, then turn on my heel and march away in shame.
I'm just gonna laugh
I guess
as
not.
loud as I possibly can.
All right.
Poor lass, she drank a whole keg last night.
Little Lacuna.
I nod.
A lot of fun.
We found her on the floor with a ton of them on mugs and a giant keg right next to
You put them there! You put them there!
her. You still drank it?
He slaps you hard on the back, and it hurts a little bit. I mean, he's a fairly mighty dwarf. It knocks you forward a couple steps, and you lose your, breath of air. It knocks the wind out of you. He's, "Good on you, lass. It's about time you loosen up."
Be right back. Someone's at the door.
Yep.
I turn and try to summon the fiery spirits of my demonic ancestors and somehow mentally burn a hole through everyone I see.
Rebuke him?
To no avail. Are you going to try and rebuke the dwarf?
Can I try to rebuke Sandor?
No, he has not physically assaulted you.
But my feelings.
Emotional assault does not count toward triggering your Alfire's rebuke.
Would be funny though.
Can I throw a rag at his face?
Yes, you can throw a dirty rag at his face.
What am I rolling?
You just throw a rag at his face.
Oh. I was hoping to get a critical.
Roll.
Just
Go ahead and roll an attack. Go for it. If that's what you want to do, sure. Add your dexterity modifier to it. You throw a rag at him, and it just lands on his breastplate and goes before flopping to the floor.
I've ever heard a rag make.
It's covered with grease and grime, oil, probably some soot.
And it goes.
It's not a very clean rag at this point. There is a black streak down the center of your armor now, Sandor. Oh, he's walked away for a minute.
He's on the phone.
Yeah.
So he's got a black streak down the center of his armor, and I'm just laughing. Dude behind the bar, or behind the counter. The thing.
What was that?
I'm just gonna tell the dude every stupid thing that happened. So like that time that she grabbed onto me as I dove into a river and nearly drowned herself.
can I roll for an intimidation to get him to shut up?
If you want. What are you saying to intimidate him?
I will fill every orifice with the hottest fire I can find.
You're lucky. Burn yourself first.
Oh man. Well, this is lively. This has been here in a long time. She's actually pretty scary right now. With a 17 intimidate.
I'm gonna tell a few other stories about Orzal. Go right back to telling stories about her.
This sounds like a tale that needs to be told over drinks.
You got that right. And then
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I'm gonna say I'll be at the inn.
He turns to the bar and says, Amber, dear, watch the shop. I'm getting drinks. And she's, wait, where are you going? Get back. God damn it, Gray. More than shave
Okay,
your
whatever.
beard. You have a black streak down your armor as Lakuta threw a nasty rag at you.
Why? What did I do?
Sinestra and the dwarf Gray are marching their way to an inn, toward the inn, to have a drink, and he's going to listen to the tales of Sinestra. Ziria pulls a couple of the long swords off of his belt, puts them down on the counter in front of Amber, and says, add these to the old one's top, and turns and walks out, finishing his apple as he goes. He throws the core into the bushes, makes his way toward the inn as well.
Oh, crap, I forgot to give him the crossbow. I'll give it to the guy as he leaves.
I think this is where Lacuna is gonna depart. She is gonna go shower and wash and sit down and spend time in a place that is not with her kidnapper. Does Sinestra still have some of her books?
I don't know. Does Sinestra start some more books?
Then you did manage to take one because she's gonna go through all of her stuff. I want to know what her reaction is gonna be.
Oh, okay. I do still have one book, but it wasn't one that I had already given you back. That was from the room.
Whatever. I'll throw something at you later.
All right.
But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and split now. Thanks, guys. I am really tired, but this was really fun. Nez, can I catch up and do like a one shot with you sometime this weekend?
Yeah, just ping me. Probably be best time would either be Saturday night or sometime Sunday.
Okay.
Alrighty, I'll catch you later then. All right, we're gonna leave Lacuna there at the Flint Forge Geared Works for the night here to get herself washed up.
See, I just can't. I can't go back to the Flint Forge Gear Works for a very long time.
And yeah.
Still have that book.
Oh yeah, you still have her book.
Find out.
I'm
Alrighty.
gonna go to the counter and put on my stuff, my chainmail, and my longsword, and that's it. Just want to be rid of it.
Okay. So you hand over your chainmail and longsword. Are you trying to sell it to her, or are you just gonna give it over to him?
I'm just gonna give it over to him. I just don't want it anymore.
All right. So, you want anything for this as you're walking out the door?
On the house.
Thanks. Morden be with you.
Get rid of it?
Same to you.
Oh, you had already replaced it.
Yeah, he replaced his armor stuff when he was in the caves. He's just carrying around dead weight, basically.
I'm gonna visit this
All right.
and put my badge on.
So as you walk into the bakery, um, coming around the corner, there is the thin, energetic proprietor of this place, Mangbaro Aloran. He's a male human, and he's just rummaging about, making himself busy. He's bouncing between counters, trying to make it look like he's busy doing something. Um, upon seeing you walk in with the badge on, he looks around, making sure nobody's in, turns and goes, rushes to the door and slams it shut, throws a bar over the top corner of it, and shuts the windows. What are you doing here?
With that not liked here,
It's middle of the day. You're supposed to be a little more discreet about this shit.
did I know that this was a building that was under their control? By the way.
Yeah, you would have known. This is something that they would have told you when you're coming up in the area. Hey, we had a lookout stationed at Lauren's Bakery. There's a guy undercover there who goes by the name of Lauren, who's part of our network.
Ah, I just came in to buy some bread. I don't know what you're all up about.
Oh yeah, buying some bread, and he nods toward the Zentarum badge that you've got pinned to your collar.
Yeah, I just pinned that on.
Uh-huh. Right. You're looking for anything besides bread?
Information on a bunch of them weirdos apparently in the northeast and the southeast, or whatever south direction of the dragon.
Oh, those bastards. I can tell you the only rumors I've heard about is some fellow named Pelmondivar. I don't know what the hell the name is. They're talking about something of some sort of haunting and goblins up near a haunted tomb. It's in the foothills over that way, and he points in the direction toward the eastern side of town.
Hmm. Any word from anyone else?
Oh, just the usual shite of people chasing over the million dragons back there in Waterdeep. I don't know if I want to get myself caught up in that thing though. A
What's going
dragon.
on in Waterdeep?
By the way, a dragon is the Waterhavians' word of calling a gold coin. A dragon is a gold coin. So basically, he told you people are
Oh,
looking for a million gold coins somewhere in the city.
yeah.
There's some sort of half-assed rumor about before Lord Neverember left the town, he had a secret vault somewhere with a million gold coins, dragons in it. I don't know if it's
Interesting.
true or not, but that's what everyone's in a tizzy about down in the city. I don't want to fuck anything to do with it. Rather not get myself
Fair
killed
enough.
over a fairy tale, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know that feels like. I'll take my little badge off and I'll kind of put it away and thinking for its time and put some coin on the table for
He nods, pulls a fresh leaf of bread out of the counter, drops it in that paper bag, and hands it over to you, scooping the coin off the counter.
top of the morning to you,
Oh,
or whatever time it is.
have a good night, sir. And he goes and opens the windows up and sets on a little banner on the front window. Basically, it says fresh bread. It's just been baked and poured out of the oven.
Moradin guide you.
Fuck does that mean? Whatever.
What did he say?
He's just mumbling to himself. It's
Oh, before that.
Yeah,
Okay.
unenlightened people. I'll make my way to the tavern.
all right. You make your way down.
Actually, no, I'm gonna go to the chapel.
Okay. As you go in the chapel, Kalabwin is in there. He's speaking rather hastily with one of the acolytes. This guy has got the emblem of Torm, and another one sitting next to him has got the symbol of Tyr crested over his left breast. Uh,
Don't want to go over and hear those people.
they are talking. You overhear. He's very loud, and he says, "Look, I don't know what the hell's going on over there, but those bastards in the wind pace. They told me that there's some cult of earth cultists. They've got prisoners set up inside the monasteries off to the hills to the east. It's probably where they've got my sister. If you can send word down to the city and have guards check the place out, see if they can find it. I gotta get resupplied and I have to send word down to town myself. I need to inform these people. I'll be back as soon as I can, but I don't have time to deal with it now. If you can use a sending spell, let them know. Do what you can, please." And he turns and just frantically leaves.
Cadwin did this?
Yep.
Whoa.
Before they can even answer him or anything like that, it's justice guide you. Is what the priest of Tyr says as he just like frantically leaves. Um, there's some light whispering between them that you cannot make out from where you are standing at the front of the door. One of the priests goes over into the side room. He presumes probably to perform a sending spell down to Waterdeep. And Calabin marches out. He's coming by you. He pats you on the shoulder and just turns and starts walking south.
Huh. Is there a shrine to Muradin or something like that in here?
There is a singular stone shrine set up at the far end of the chapel, and there are shelves lining the walls on the back quarter panel. It's kind of like a semicircle, and there are just shelves curling around it. Set on the shelves are little icons and emblems and miniature shrines and the like of the various accepted lords and lordesses, ladies, gods and goddesses of the area. So basically, it's if you wanted to make a prayer for a prayer, what you could take one of them down to your deity. More than you can easily spot is one. There's a large center shelf with some of the pieces and altar pieces and like little shrines and all that jazz. They're a little they're larger and a little more ornate. You can easily pick out Moradin among them. If you wanted, you could pick it up, put it down on the altar there, and say your prayer and put it back when you're done.
I'll do that.
Okay. Saying anything specific to him, or are you just muttering the usual?
Muttering the usual, and that I've done probably some stupid shit, and probably gonna do more. So forgive me.
Okay. So you go through your motions, you pull it out, and you kneel down. You say your prayers to Moradin. You feel as though you've done your part. And after a brief moment or so in silence, you pick the uh, little. It's a small anvil that's made of silver with iron. It's iron with some silver inlays on all the symbols of Moradin and some dwarven runes that basically read the Soul Forger in Dwarvish. Um, you carefully pick it up and gently place it back on the shelf. At this time, there
All right.
was the only other person in the actual anteroom of the chapel is the priest of Tyr, and he's being very respectful and quiet. He's just sitting off on one of the benches on the side, just doing prayers silently to himself.
All right. I think my business is concluded here.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna head him to the chapel. I mean to the tavern.
All right.
And I'm gonna find Sinestro and our crew.
Me?
Hey, hey guys, do you guys see Caladwin go up here? Cause I heard. Oh wait, I already knew where he was going, didn't I?
Yeah, you saw him. You were standing in the door when he left. He pat you on the shoulder. Um, didn't say anything to you. He wasn't, it didn't seem like he was mad at you or anything, but he was in a rush. And it was kind of like a pat of thanks for what you did for us down there. and just turned and started walking along the south road, making his way toward one of the other buildings.
Did I see which building he was going to?
No, as you were leaving, you didn't really catch. You were stepping inside as he was leaving, so you didn't really catch where he went.
Ah,
And
I'll just head back in then and not say anything.
All
thought, oh, she wants to be puffed up. So I turned her into a ball of gas.
right. That's brilliant, boy. That what happened.
Oh, we flew around the cave a bit. She tried to fly away. She couldn't. Then she throw some stuff at me, but she couldn't because she was still gas. Yeah, just let it all blow over.
She tried to strangle you once.
She tried to strangle you. It was a ghost. She's literally blowing hot air around. He's having a good old time. He's like 5 mugs in now, by the way.
Yeah, I figured. I'm just gonna keep telling stories.
He's just pounding them back. Zero has made his way back to the usual corner in the dark under the stairs, outside of most people's field of view. He
I'm
kind of.
gonna say, oh, well, before all that, you wouldn't have ever believed how we figured out how to go down there. In a hole.
A hole! Like, in the ground.
Hole in the ground. It's just a giant pit. We're all sitting there like, yeah, we're throwing bodies in the hole, and she jumps in the hole.
Don't
Naturally,
try sur-
I
don't
go,
don't try surfing
never
a body either.
You surfed a body down a hole. He turns and looks back at you.
pretty well.
It's pretty hard. It's not
I,
as easy as you would think.
I think so, and all that metal. He's got his long gray beard is just like covered in spittle and beer at this point. He's a fucking mess, and he's having a great time.
This guy's gonna pass out.
You get a feeling that like he doesn't get a chance very often to get away from the shop, let alone to get away from Amber, and he's just like cutting loose.
Wonderful. I'm gonna use the opportunity to be telling stories, and I'll say, "Oh, you know what? I really, really needed to go to at that moment," and I'll just look at him.
You really needed what?
Like, okay, so I'm just telling stories, and a part of the spot where like the demon took, was about to take me out. What I really, really needed, and I'll look at my wrists, my spiked wrists.
You needed what? Better weapons.
What did he say?
Did you need better weapons?
Oh yeah, I definitely needed better weapons.
I mean, you look like the finger waggly type, and he lifts his hands and just wiggles his fingers in your directions.
Sometimes, but I like punching things.
I mean, I like punching shit too, but if I can throw fire at shit, I'd rather do that.
But if I could throw fire with my punches.
Oh, now you're talking. Fire fists. Fists of fire! And he
Yeah,
stands up and lifts his hands in the air, and just like roars.
I start doing like that boxing motion, like yeah, yeah, yeah.
So now watch it there. You can put an eye out with those fucking things.
The spikes are put away. I'm just boxing.
You know what works great? I'll tell you what works great. And he reaches into his belt pocket and he pulls out a flintlock pistol and slams it down on the tables. That puts fucking holes in shite.
Does it put holes in it better than an Eldritch Blast?
I don't know. We should find out.
is the range?
I don't fucking know. Let's go out back.
All right.
He picks up the ale and just like
We need
chugs
some
it
more
back.
ale before we go back there. We gotta get some more ale before we go back there. Gotta have one for while we're hanging out.
Hold on. We need. Wait. There's 1, 2. And he turns and counts Sendo. 3. Counts a random stranger. 4. And just like pokes around. 10. We need 10 bottles.
Yeah, I'll say to the barkeep, "You heard the man. He wants 10 bottles."
She looks at you and looks at him, her face like pale white and shock. You know what Amber's gonna say, Gray? Ah, fuck her! Give me the ale!
I love this.
I'm trying really hard not to laugh.
You know what? You answered her, not me. She's coming for your ass, right?
I'll say, "Don't worry. I'll make sure he doesn't get into too much trouble."
You don't know what you're in for. And she starts putting bottles down on the counter. He goes over and grabs one and just smashes the fucking top off of it and just chugs it down and drops the bottle on the thing and then picks 3 and just like shoves them as much as he can in his arms.
I will take 5 of them as he's chugging.
So as you go to grab, he chugs the one down. There are 9 balls on the counter. He goes to wrap his arm around like 6 more of them and pull them into his chest. As he does, he knocks a 7th one to the floor. So there are now 2 bottles of ale just sitting on the counter. The rest of them are just like wrapped in his arms, clinking and clanking. As he goes, he just kicks the back door open. It goes out back.
The one that he knocked over.
I'll take the last one, and I'll follow back. I want to see this.
I'll take one. I'll try to catch the one that he dropped.
Roll a dex check.
Yeah, we can do this.
Oh, so you see it fall, you go to reach for it, and your fingers just brush against it, and it falls to the ground.
Is it broken?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I'll pick the other one up and head outside.
Brienne just looks pissed. She's like, "Get the fuck out!" God, every time, Greg. God damn it!
I will. She's gonna love this. I'm gonna use my expeditious retreat to get out as fast as fucking possible.
All right, so you cast your spell, and you use the fucking blurs. Jesus fuck! Do that! Get out of here!
On my way out, I'm also going to do vestiture of wind.
What?
I'm gonna blow all of the stuff that was on the ground out the door and dry the floor for her.
All right, so you cast expedition retreat, and as you're going out, you whip your hand, and a whirlwind of air wraps around the counter and just blows everything out the door. The shards of glass and shit as you're going out, knocking the door open, just behind Gray kicking the door out. It whips around his feet. What the fuck? And it rips out and just pins into the side of the barn outside. They're just like
Him to the side of the barn.
there's just like 5 or 6 shards of glass just like embedded in the side, along with Gray, who's just like, oh, what the fuck?
I go over and I pick up. I take 3 of the bottles from him and says, I'll say I'll need these. And then I grab him and we get off.
Oh, what the fuck was that? Maybe I drank too much. He staggers,
Not yet.
he staggers a bit, and makes himself back to his feet, and he looks at, starts picking about 1, 7, 3, 22. All right, we're good.
Oh god, where is he shooting?
All right, so you guys walk around the behind the back of the stables. So you're
Okay,
currently behind these.
okay.
I need to go over the other screen here. So you're back here. Um, and behind there is a rickety old fence. It looks like it's been just neglected for probably the better part of 20 years or so. It's falling apart. The wood's decaying and shit. He goes over there and kicks some of it down, and he goes, "Oh, I'll make some there." And he puts the bottles on. He goes, "We need targets, bottles. That's why we need the bottles." He cracks one open and just he's like choking on it and spilling down his face and shit. And he puts an empty bottle up on the thing, grabs another one, cracks it open, and begins chugging it back.
I will chug one myself.
Make a con save.
Alright. Let's see. I've got. Con save, huh? Well, I'm about to fail my con save.
No, you're good. You chug it back like
Hey,
a
the
champ.
dice actually landed on the right on my side this.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll do that, and then I'll hand him the bottle, and I'm gonna keep 3 of the bottles. I'm taking 3 of the bottles.
All right.
I'm gonna stow them away. I'm keeping them for later.
All right. So he still has 2 bottles that are full, just sitting next to him now, and he's just plumped down on his ass in the dirt next to you. He's got his back knee against the back of the barn now, and he's got his pistol out, and he's just fucking with it now. He pulls a big ass bag. It's probably like a pound and a half bag of just black powder, and slumps it down in front of him. Just the whole thing. Pulls it open. He's got a little scoop, and he's just okay.
Oh, this is a mistake
no.
waiting to happen.
No,
Yes, it is.
this goes here, and he puts the gun off to the side, away from the stuff. And I need to take some of this, and he gets that, and he's just. It takes him probably about 10 minutes or so of fucking with shit, and he finally goes, "Got it!" And he holds up what looks like a cartridge. He goes,
Just
"Now,
one bullet.
now, this is the tricky part, okay?" And he takes the bullet and gets a flat rock and puts it on the rock and pulls a fucking hammer out. You got to top it and seal shut just right. Now, you boys should probably stand back.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
I'm
go
standing
by the other
around
side of the
corner.
barn.
I'm going around the corner.
It's, you fucking cowards! He takes his hammer and goes. The shell fires off and goes. That goes. Who the fuck told you to discharge, stupid fuck thing? He throws his spent cartridge off to the side and goes, I got it this time. We practice these. He whips one up like half the time he did the first one. Sits down and goes,
No, I'm back.
he pulls his hammer out again. He's, couple seconds pass. He goes, that's a good bullet.
And now I'm gonna come out. Is he gonna blow himself up?
As you come around the corner, he's like reaching over to his side where he put the pistol, and it's just out of his grasp, and he falls on his side. He goes, come here. Yes, that's a good gun.
Can you just wait until he goes back to the workshop?
Oh my god, what do you mean?
Imagine him going in there as drunk as he is right now.
I know, I'm gonna follow him.
So he takes the pistol, puts the cartridge in it, rolls the chamber, yeah, click, 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 and he slams his hand against it, clasping it down, takes it, aims at the stuff, pulls the trigger, and click. Fuck. Slams his hand against it again. Click. What the stupid fuck thing? It takes it and inspects it, pulls it really close to his face, to the point where like he's almost sniffing it. It slowly turns the barrel until the bullet clicks to the chamber, and lines it back up again.
While that's happening, I'm gonna hand Sandor the crossbow bolts and said, "You're gonna want to participate, right?"
I ain't drunk enough for this.
So he takes the pistol and he begins aiming and goes, looks at the pistol and goes, "Fuck am I using this for?" He turns to you, Sinestra, and goes, "Catch!" and fucking throws the loaded gun at you.
Oh shit! I have to catch it. I have to catch it.
Make a dex save.
For both of us or just him?
Just me.
Just for him.
Oh fuck me.
Oh, nice. You see it coming, you grasp it out of the air, grabbing it around firmly around the handle. Your fingers are away from the trigger guard and everything, and you're like, "Holy shit!" Fuck, you got my pistol for?
Just threw it at me.
No, you took it. Fuck you. And he reaches behind his back and he pulls a rifle out.
Where the hell is he keeping that?
It, it goes in here, and he reaches around his back and he's got on his hip a small little brown pouch, and embroidered on the side of the pouch is a little silhouette of a firearm.
Oh god.
Just a boom bag. Put stuff in there that goes boom. And then when you need it, you reach in there and you say boom baggy boom, and he reaches in, he pulls out, and he brings out another powder bag, a black powder, and sits it down next to the first one. Opens this one up too. Okay, now and he takes the rifle and he's like trying to figure out how to aim it, and he turns it and he points the barrel at his face for seconds. No, no, that's not right. And he aims it back down range.
Just slowly
I
back away.
almost feel like I should get a Clary.
Okay, now this one you need this, and he reaches in the pack and he pulls out a cartridge that's like 3 times bigger than the one he clambered together for that pistol. And he
Maybe
goes,
you should give him the crossbow.
"This goes in here." And he takes the rifle and puts it in his pouch, and it's a lever action rifle, and he's just like banging at the action guard. And fucking open! And he slams it, and the latch goes click, slides up, because thank you. Slides the bolt and slams the bolt back in place. All right, now this one, and he aims it down range. He goes, "This one does this." And he takes the rifle, puts it against his shoulder, and he's still sitting, mind you, and goes, pulls the trigger. That beam that the 2 bottles were sitting on, it hits the beam and goes, there's a big concussive fireball shatter. The glass just goes fucking flying everywhere, off in direction, every direction. Um, where that
So cool.
that fence post was, that the bottles are on, it's just gone. About 60 yards back in the hill beyond, there's like a 3-foot divot in where the shell finally hit and was spent.
Did it actually shoot like a fireball, or is it just a regular gun?
It shot the cartridges that left the barrel looked like it just caught fire, and it was like a blazing ball of fire.
That is
It's
so cool.
it looks kind of like the like when you see Orzal casting his firebolt spell. It looked kind of like that, but it certainly had a hell of a lot more punch.
Oh, that is cool.
Can your fingers do that?
My fingers do that?
I think Lacuna's been holding out on us.
Just a little bit. Uh, I'm gonna take a second, and I'll say maybe.
What the fuck
And
do you mean maybe? It's yes or no.
I say, we're about to find out.
Does he have any more beer near him?
As you,
He's got 2 more bottles.
he reaches around and he pulls the bottle out and he's fucking with the cork gun. He's uh, where's that? And he takes that pistol and aims at the fucking thing.
Oh, hey Nez, the frigid thing is off my.
It's off your thing. It should still be there. It is off your thing. That's weird. Let me see if I can fix that. So he takes his pistol and he just shoots the fucking top of the bottle off.
I have his pistol. He took it from me.
Yeah, he grabbed it from you before you could react. Just went grabbed out of your hands and just shot the top of the bottle off, and he's just pouring that down his gullet. Well, uh, fingers.
I got it back.
Is your spell back?
I got it back.
All right.
Now I'm going to. I say, may not be fire or anything as cool as that. I'm gonna hit the post or one of the posts with the frigid fury.
Okay, that spell is cast around you.
I'm gonna walk over there.
Okay, so you're gonna walk over to it.
Like I'm away from them. They're not gonna get hurt by it or anything.
Okay, it's got a 10-foot range around you, a 10-foot radius
20
around you.
feet away.
So from where you're at, it's 10 feet radius around you. Is how the spell casts.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go about 20 feet away, like right over here or something.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cast frigid fury.
I'm just gonna lean back in the barn, fully expecting the dwarf to shoot him at some point.
All right. So you go through your motions, you cast your spell. As you're doing so, several sheets of very fine ice just begin to encircle you, layer after layer, crisscrossing, looking almost like you're a giant. Like inside, you're inside a gyroscope basically. There's just different layers going off at different angles, and as you release it, the spell lets loose. The sheets explode and expand out onto blades of ice, just flying out 10 feet around you. As they reach the edge of the radius of it, they all just shatter and explode into a very fine mist and coat the area around you in shards of ice. When you finish your spell, he sits up and goes, "I've been drinking warm ale for no fucking reason." He takes his bottle and he fucking throws it at you. The one bottle he has left, and it lands like 5 feet shy of you in the pile of snow and ice.
Did it break?
No. He just goes click, 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 and just slowly comes to rest.
Perfect. On his one, and then he's got that one chilling on the side. This is perfect.
Oh. Mine wins.
I think it does. Definitely got longer range.
Pretty fucking cool to watch, though.
And I'll say, how do I get one?
What, one of these?
Yeah.
You got it. You got it. You gotta know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, as he's saying this, he's got the pistol in his hand. And he's just like flailing his fucking hand around every direction. It comes like it points at each one of you guys at least a dozen times as he's talking, and he ends with like pointing at his own head. And he goes, you know how to use it, or you kill yourself."
I'm so glad he only had one bullet and he fucking used it. It's an unloaded weapon at this point.
Yeah, as he finishes that to like exemplify his statement,
Oh,
he pulls the trigger and you hear a click, and he goes like stones over his hand. He looks again, and goes, "Oh," and just drops to his feet. I need a drink.
you know how to use it. You point the end where the bullet comes out at what you want to kill.
But you gotta know how to, to fix it. To, main, 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 take care of it. To make the boomy part.
And I'll say, how do you fix it and take care of it?
Do you really want
You
to
show me.
know as a drunk?
I want to know.
It's 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 trade secret. I can't say this stuff.
You can. You just showed me it.
No, I, I killed that. And he points to a tree. He's trying to point to like the hole in the ground, but he's pointing at a tree. I I kill that. You owe me a drink. I won.
Right there in the ice.
Oh, it's cold too. Yeah, that's just kind of you. He gets up and just like stumbles his way over there and digs it on the ice.
Okay. At this point, I'm just gonna say, chug, 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 chug.
Don't tell Amber.
Oh,
Chugging it
she
down.
doesn't need to know.
That's right. She don't. He's saying this and she's like chugging the beer down.
Oh, when's he passing out?
That's a nat 20 on his con save.
Wow, this guy really knows how to take his liquor.
All right, boys. The bottle's empty. My ass is wet. I gotta clean this up. And he goes over and like cinches the pouches shut and puts them back in his boom bag. Takes the rifle and slowly slides it back into the boom bag and puts the pistol in a hip holster.
Rifle fits in the boom bag.
Yeah, he takes the rifle and he pulls the bag open like a drawstring on his pouch and like pulls it out with 2 fingers. So it's maybe like 5 feet diameter wise, and takes the barrel of it and points it down into it and just slowly pushes it down into the boom bag.
So it's like a bag of holding.
Yep, and tightens the drawstring pouch shut.
That I am interested in. I want a bag of holding.
You can't handle it. As he's like stumbling, trying to keep himself straight. He's got a hand braced against the side of the bar, like guiding himself around the other side.
I'll say, as I as I help steady him, I said, "You can."
I fucking handled that.
It looked like it.
Damn straight.
I guess we're going back inside.
All right, so you guys, after your show with his boomsticks, you escort him back into the bar and he goes in there. And he's comes around the counter and goes, "Yeah, I saw I made a mess. He made me do it." And he points at you.
He made me, and I'll say he made me clean it up.
See, he cleaned up. That means he's guilty. He did it.
Just sit down, you drunk.
I'm, I'm drunk. You're sober.
Exactly. Sit down.
Yeah, you sit down.
Already sitting.
He goes and slumps himself against one of the booth against the wall. I, I, I'm hungry. Are you guys hungry? We
I'll
should
say
get
to
some
the
food.
person behind the bar, "Hey, he said he's hungry. Want to eat? Want to eat all the food in the inn?"
that, that sounds good. I bet I can eat more than you can eat.
I doubt it. I haven't eaten for 3 days.
That sounds like bullshit.
We're about to find out.
All right. He pulls out a gold pouch and slams it on the
Move at
counter.
your pace.
He pulls a gold pouch out and slams it on the counter. He's, 50 gold says I can eat more than you can.
Run, and I'll pull I'll pull 50 gold out. I will pull 25 gold out. Make it look like 50 and put it on the counter.
You put your gold on the counter, and he's so he calls order food, and then he looks over at his pouch of gold and your pouch of gold, and picks yours up. That's not 50 gold.
I say, "Yeah, it is. That's platinum."
That's he opens the bag up and says, that's not platinum.
I'm gonna definitely deceive him here.
Roll deception.
What are you drunk? It's platinum.
Oh man, that's a mighty roll.
And he's also kind of drunk, so
Yeah,
Kinda drunk.
he's rolling at disadvantage, which works out good for you. He looks at the bag, pulls out one of his coins, and pulls out one of your coins. Yours is a little shinier. Okay, that's platinum. Okay.
damn it. This guy is so amazing.
All right. Here's the deal. We're gonna have. How many is this many? And he holds his hand up in front of you with all of his fingers spread out.
And
Okay, we're gonna have 15 plates. If
the most wins.
whoever eats the most without puking on the mummy wins. And he points at Sandor.
The mummy.
Fair enough. I just take out my loaf of bread and just start eating it.
See, this is why you're like all bandages. You gotta eat more than bread. If you have more than bread, you'll be at least some better bandages. You'd be like silk wrapped. That'd be cool.
This is Nez's like perfect dream where he could just be dumb for half an hour.
Yeah. So after like 5 minutes or so of waiting, he gets out. He's like, "Where the fuck's the food at?" And then finally, Brienne brings it over, and she just brings you 2 plates, and on the plates are 2 big turkey legs, one for each of you. She goes, "All right, boys, round one.
One, I am gonna down these turkey legs.
Make a con save."
Oh, she didn't.
Now, this is a Constitution check competition between you and the dwarf.
Oh God. Okay. To remember this. Shit.
I just thought of a clever use of the mushroom, but I can't say any.
I'm going to be using it actually.
All right, so you got a 22. You win that round.
Okay, I'm gonna say before she walks away, I'm gonna give her half the mushroom and just say you should cook this into something in a few rounds.
So what is this?
It's a
I haven't seen a mushroom like this. Are you sure it's safe? Make a
Roll it
deception
again.
check. If you insist, okay. When do you want me to put it in?
Uh, go round 10.
Okay. She leaves and she
Yeah,
comes back. She's got a bowl of soup and a loaf of bread now for each of you. You need to roll another con
we're
save.
down in it. We're down in it.
He beat you that time. He ate a little
Beat me
faster than
that
you did.
time? Oh,
1-1.
1-1. All right.
Guys, we need food, not drinks. What the fuck you trying so for?
Just trying to fill this up so we stop early.
Oh, she's trying to take our money. That's not nice. She comes back and she's got three slices of ham steak on each plate for you guys now. Plops down in front
All
of you.
right. Let's do this.
Yeah, you lost that one
Uh-oh.
too.
One.
So he's got two, you've got one. That was pretty good. I think we should have some more of that turkey. Ask turkey. I want more turkey. As she comes, she brings two more turkey legs, one for each of you.
I'm gonna roll again.
Yep.
Oh
Ooh.
God, I am losing horribly.
Oh man.
Last of the 10th round.
All right. That's three for him.
One for me. All right.
She comes out.
So what round is this? Four.
Yeah, that was the fourth round. The fifth round's coming up. She comes out with a healthy size chicken breast and a biscuit roll and some gravy for you guys.
Okay.
So, all right, here you go. You win that one.
2-3.
Yes. I don't like chicken anyway. You can have that one. All right, let's get some of those things that go move. That's good stuff. She looks at him like he's just fucking out of here. He's drunk. She comes back. She gives you guys both a healthy slab of steak with a side of corn on the cob.
Ooh.
Oh, you lucked out. You roll a one.
Well,
See,
that's
you
the
won
third
that one.
three.
Uh,
Aw, you're slowing down, old man.
yes. You gotta enjoy a steak. You don't fucking rush this. Goddamn heathen. And he's like, his last bite of steak, he's like smearing it in the juice of the plate, and he's like, oh, that's
I
good
put my
stuff.
thing of bread away. I'm like,
So she comes back again. Um, now she's got a plate of pancakes for the both of you. And mind you, these pancakes are like, they've been sitting around since the morning, so they're kind of like stale. He beat you, by the way.
Perfect. All right, so it's 4-3.
Yep. Because these are very good pancakes. We need something better than pancakes. He's just singing now. Um,
I'm
she kept,
gonna. I'm going to take the other half of the of mushroom and take. Oh, actually no.
no?
We're gonna hang on to it for a second.
Okay. So she comes back out again, this time with more chicken, biscuits, and gravy. I mean, she's lathering you up, trying to get you guys full.
Is it working?
You lost that one.
Serious?
uh-oh.
Yeah, he
Danger
rolled a
zone.
16 and he's got a +5.
So it's 5-4, 5-3.
Yep. It's better chicken than the other chicken.
I'll stop her. I'll stop her. I'll say I don't think I'm gonna last much longer. Can you put the mushroom in the next one? I want to see what it tastes like.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay. So she brings you out another plate with just it's like salad and bread and bits of turkey and stuff in it. And he goes, I don't want fucking rabbit food. This game sucks.
Does he have the mushroom on his plate?
No, the mushroom is on your plate
Uh,
only.
I'm going to uh, say, hey, you should order some drinks while we're doing this. I'll wait.
He's, okay, and he picks his plate up and he's licking it as he's going. And he walks over to it and goes, I.
Why did he pick his plate up?
He's licking his plate.
The one that was empty?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So the rabbit food is like it's still there.
There's a little bit of greens left on it. He ate most of it. He won that round. Um,
Hold on.
but
Or he ate the round.
there's like 3 bites left on his plate. But he took the one that had like the chicken was on, and he's like licking the chicken for grease and stuff off. He's, oh,
Oh,
that's
okay.
chicken
Well,
fat.
I'm gonna take the mushroom pieces that are on my plate into the rest of like the bites that are on his plate.
All right, roll a sleight of hand. Oh, at the corner of his eye, he catches. He goes, "Hey, oh fuck! Put your rabbits on my rabbits."
I'm trying to take some from you. I'm hungry.
Okay, you eat them both now. If you're that hungry, you eat them both. He comes back and puts his mugs down,
Finish your plate.
and he puts his plate and throws it onto yours. He goes, "You eat them both." And sits there with his arms crossed.
I'm gonna do a deception. I wasn't that hungry. I just wanted to bite, see if they were the same.
I think you're cheating. You,
It's cheating.
you just want. You can give up if you want to give up. I win.
But you need to eat your plate.
No, that's your plate. It's yours.
Dumping it on me.
His insight beat your deception, so he knows you're on the shitty shit.
How? Okay, so he rolled disadvantage and still beat me.
His passive insight score is higher than what you got.
He's fucking drunk. Passive insight doesn't mean shit.
It does because the doors have got a natural resistance and advantage against poison, which is what alcohol is.
Right.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna eat your mushrooms? Or you're gonna try and slide them off somewhere.
I try and slide him off.
All right, roll a sleight of hand. He's watching you like a hawk. I don't fuck like rabbit food either. And he just takes his arm and just swipes it across the table, knocking everything on the floor.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh boy.
There's no more fucking rabbit food, Bran. Fuck that stuff.
I just dodged the bullet.
Oh yeah, you did.
Oh my god.
All right. She grumbles and bitches and moans about making more of a fucking mess, and your ass is better clean as the fuck is bullshit. I don't get paid enough for this shit. God damn.
I'm just gonna go, okay.
So, a few minutes later, she returns again, and this time there are 2 turkey legs on each of your plates.
Right.
This is the
I'm gonna
final
say,
round.
"Hold on.
Wow.
I've got a special thing.
What's she got?
I'm gonna pull out the mushroom. It's kind of spicy.
I,
You'll get the 50. You can eat it without puking. You'll get the 50 coins.
I, I, I don't like shit fruit. Why do I gotta eat your shit fruit?
Special. This is a one of a kind spice. I pulled this out as a special occasion.
Roll persuasion. He rolled the same thing twice. I no, you enjoy that yourself. I don't want that. And he starts eating his turkey legs.
Say it's only good. It's only good if you share it with a friend. And I go to put it back in my bag.
All right, you got to beat the 23.
I think he still lost regardless.
Nope, you lost that
No, he
round.
won.
Yeah.
Right, there's your 50 gold.
Champion.
Really wanted me to lose that. Oh, I really wanted something to work.
He rolled really high on a lot of his checks.
Ah, he did. I took 25 gold out because I tricked him.
Yeah, you only lost 25 gold at least.
Well, I'm not worried about the gold. I really wanted something to like funny to happen,
Oh,
right? Like I wanted him to eat this stuff in like, the 10th round.
just shit
And
himself.
oh my god, it's like,
So he takes your bag of 25 gold and looks over to the stuff, the big mess on the ground. And he goes, "Somebody made a fucking mess. We
Be ashamed to waste all that food.
we should pay whoever's got to clean that up." And he takes your gold bag and just dumps it on the floor on top of the pile of mess.
oh my god,
We paid him. Let's go.
we're leaving. Am I taking him back?
Take him wherever the fuck you want to go. He is just wasted right now.
We're going to
I
the bathhouse.
I give a gold coin to the waitress and I'm gonna tell her thank you for putting up with the entertainment.
25 gold coins.
There's 25 gold on the floor right now.
I'll do it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, she's just the fact there's 25 gold on the floor. She's putting up with your shit because she's picking it up, the gold first, and putting that all in her coin pouch. All right, you dragging him up to the bathhouse? You said.
We're taking a bath. Nobody ends the day on a nice drinking.
We
Go to the
should
bath.
we should have this in the bath. And he pulls out a big stone flask out of the boom pouch. It's like a mason flask. And it's
I'm down.
probably a foot or so across.
Already down.
He's like, we can enjoy this in the bath.
Right, let's go. We're going in.
All right. So you drag him to the bathhouse. Sandra, are you following them?
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm
So,
debating on what to do.
all right. As you come out of the inn, following them, if you look to your right and your left coming out, trying to decide what the hell you want to do. To your right, down the road a bit, you do see Kaladwin, and he's outside of this building down here on the corner. He has a wagon outside, and it's just he's busy packing things in the back of the wagon.
I'm gonna go talk to Cloudwin.
All right. He sees your push, goes, "Oh, hey, Sandra, what's up?"
Something troubling you?
I, I came up here. My sister was taken. She was with the delegation coming south. She was up in Marabar doing a trade agreement for the family. And when it went missing, she's gone with them. I was in there trying to find her. It, right now we're out of supplies. If I go any further, they're going to see I'm missing. I got to get back to town. I'm getting a wagon ready for the rest of us. If you guys want to come with, you're welcome to. I got enough supplies for everybody. I have to take the um whatever the fuck her name was. I need to take her back anyway as part of our agreement.
I'm pretty sure we all are in that agreement, so I'm pretty sure the rest of us will go. I'll talk to the other guys and see if they'll.
And take her back for us. I had fully planned to take her back.
We probably need to go to Waterdeep anyway.
Yeah.
Orzol needs new spells and that kind of shit. Plus, there's probably better gear to buy there.
Yeah, you could find out about anything in Waterdeep.
Plus, I know a little rumor that I haven't been able to tell you yet because I've been amused by the dwarf.
Oh, what's that?
No, I'm talking him out of character.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to him. Um,
Nah.
yeah, the city of Waterdeep is like the commercial hub of the entire Sword Coast. It is the largest city on this side of the map. So, I mean, if there's something to be found, there's a 99% chance you can find it in Waterdeep.
So let me make sure I got the story straight. Cladwin's going south because he thinks his siblings down there, or is he going south to get back to the city?
Now, he's fairly sure his sister is, right now he believes that she's in the Stone Monastery, from what you overheard in the chapel. And he's going on this because when you guys were in the Spire, the commander of the Spire mentioned something about there are strange monks at the Stone Monastery that have been kidnapping people on the road, and there are rumors of them holding prisoners. Um, Upon seeing the bodies and the various people that have been missing and taken inside that temple where you guys went and explored, he stayed with you on the hopes that he would find his sister in there. But now, because you guys have spent so long in that spot, that you exhausted all of your resources there. You don't have anything on you now. And while you could prepare and get yourself back in there, you have an agreement that you made with the noblewoman to take her south. And if he stays away any longer than he has from the city, he's afraid that something worse is going to happen. So he's going to go back. He wants to go back to the city to report to his family and to escort the noblewoman down there.
Okay.
He sent word from what you heard in the chapel. He had them do a sending spell down to Waterdeep and asked them to send part of his family's garrison, along with whatever they can spare in the town here, to go and investigate the Stone Monastery.
I'll have a chat with the others, Cadlin. Let's see what I can do. I'm gonna see if we can get them to come with us. I'm pretty sure they will.
Oh, that'd be great. I'm going to get some horses secured.
I bid him farewell.
He just nods and continues going about making sure everything's in place in the wagon. It's about 8 o'clock at night now, by the way, guys. It's you spent quite a bit of time just fucking around, drinking and just shooting
It
shit.
was great. It was great. After I take my bath, I'm gonna let him stagger his happy ass across the road. I'm gonna give him uh, crossbow and bolts that I have.
You hand it to him and goes, "What do I need this for?"
I'm gonna ask him if he could enchant it.
What do you want it to do?
A little bit of that fire that you showed me earlier.
Oh, you want um your the crossbow? I can give it make it hit a little harder. Basically, I can enhance its damage. Basically, he can do like a +1 effect to it. Um, he can do individual modifications to the arrows. Um, so I can make these bolts into fire bolts, but once they go boom, they're gone. They're a one-time use thing. Um, it will take time to
He's strangely coherent.
that
Make 5 of.
that by the way, that ale that you were sharing with him in the bathhouse, the first sip you took of that stuff, it made you stone sober.
Look at that. He's stone sober now.
Yeah, I mean, he was chugging that stuff like he was chugging the booze. And looking at the cask or on the bottom of the thing, it says in very small print, "Don't tell Amber." Seeing you look at it, he goes, "Shh," puts it back in his pouch.
Um,
So if you want, he could make the crossbow plus one crossbow, and you can enchant the bolts. But it's going to take time for him to do
yeah,
it.
can you do like different effects, like 5 bolts each?
What do you want them to do?
Uh, let's see, couple. See if we can. So a wind one that makes them silent.
They're the fucking boats, man. They're already silent.
I don't know.
That's
I'm trying to
loud.
figure out what I do want. One
Look,
that like sprays water everywhere.
with the supplies we have in the shop and Amber skills, we can probably do like make them do like 3 fire damage or something. They do a little bit of they got some flint on the end of them. It's not going to be very impressive. We don't have a lot of the good shit up here. If you want someone that really puts a hole in shite, Waterdeep's probably your best bet. They got some fancy shit down there. Or
All
you can
right.
go north to the dwarves.
Okay. Well, then I'll hold off.
Alright.
You're gonna have to tell me some stories later on. I know you've got a few. None of yours.
Next time you're in town, I'll tell you about the time when I got a minute to her. 2 seconds before the fucker pushed me off a cliff.
Sounds like a plan.
He pats you on the shoulder and starts stumbling his way back to the Flint Forge Gearworks.
All right, I'm going back to the inn and get a room and
I'm gonna go over to Zerio.
He's just quietly sitting in the corner. He's got a plate of like dried meats, and he's just playing with the cat, like throwing him in the air, letting the cat catch him. Seeing you approach, he goes, "Oh, what's up, Sander? You guys done fucking with Gray?"
For now, it seems.
Poor guy's gonna do
Gladwin
shit.
is getting a wagon to go southward to water.
Oh,
Figured I'd ask if anyone else wants to go along with it.
Wurzel's upstairs. I mean, he probably passed the fuck out by now. Um, yeah, I can go, but outside of the town, I gotta. As he gestures, he just casts an incantation, disguises himself to look like a wood elf. Dark elves aren't very welcome in the southern towns. I'm actually surprised they let me here.
And considering what's going on, I don't think the people around here much care.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Plus, didn't you I heard around, didn't you guys somehow kill some sort of giant undead thing not too long ago? Before I got here?
Oh yeah. Fuck was that guy's name? A fellow covered with silver scales. Hired me up out of Luskin. Brought me down here along with a couple of other people.
I'm guessing Orzol and Sinest and Lacuna as well.
Um, I don't know. Lacuna came into the inn. The rest of them arrived after I got there. Orzol came in with that fellow out there on those roads. That was that dragonborn fellow you were talking to. They came up
Oh,
from the south roads. They may have come from Waterdeep.
interesting.
Never been there yet myself, to be honest. I kind of stay away from the larger cities.
Yeah, I understand. It's kind of easy to get lost in there.
Oh, it's kind of easy to get killed in there.
That too.
People up here on the surface don't take too kindly to mine. Not that I blame them. Most of them are fucking right assholes. Kill them myself if I could.
Do I see Sinestro come in?
Yeah, he walks in while you guys are having the conversation.
I nod to Zero and start making my way over to Sinestro.
Just nods.
Hey. Hey,
Oh,
I
drink
poke
too?
Sinestro. Nah, I got something to tell you. Gladwin's getting a wagon to go down southward to Waterdeep if you want it.
Awesome.
I also heard a very interesting rumor that there is some word going down in Waterdeep that there's a billion gold treasure trove somewhere in this.
Eyes light up. Everyone's got a good plan. We can leave in the morning. I'll go
As
to bed.
as you say that, Zerio's ears perk up because very petulant. He goes, "You probably shouldn't mention that much gold out in the open." As you look around, everybody in the tavern, their heads have turned and they're all looking at you.
Simply walk
I
away.
shrug and kind of I'm gonna say, well, if they want it, they could are all of them welcome to go down there. I don't know where it is.
Let's get some fucking sleep. I'm exhausted.
Agreed.
He goes over to the counter, he puts a gold coin down and motions to the keys. The woman behind the counter just grabs one and throws this direction. He catches it. Up the steps he goes.
I'll go to the counter and order a room myself.
Alrighty. What do I be for you?
A room, please.
Oh, you want basic standard room or something fancy?
Basic standard.
That'll be 1 silver.
I'll put 2 down.
She nods, thanks. Hands you the key. It's for room number 5 up on the second floor.
I'll go up to my room
Alrighty.
and I'll open the door. I'll turn it. I'll close it. I'll lock it, and I'll summon my Raven familiar to watch over the door.
Easy enough done.
So many things just. Where are you? Actually, don't need a room. I'm just gonna stay down by the bar and hang out.
Alright. You're hanging out in the bar.
I mean, I don't sleep. What do I need a room for?
You got a good point. As the night wanes on, Brianna's. I gotta go to sleep. Tim will be down and whenever the fuck he wakes up. You need anything before I go?
No, I'm good.
All right, have a good night. She just wipes the bar down real quick and then throws the rag under the counter and makes her way. There's a door under the steps. She goes there and opens the door and closes it behind her. Goes to what you would presume is probably like the staff quarters. So night wanes on. It's probably like 2 o'clock or so in the morning. You're the only one down here in the tap room.
Really?
You're the only one in the bar. The woman that was running the rooms for the night, she yawns and teeters off about the same time as Brienne does behind the bar. She says, "If you want a bed, just grab a key and put the coin on the counter." She goes and just locks the front door and makes sure the back door is locked and makes her way upstairs.
I sit and read my book and sip on one of the bottles that I had kept, but I'm gonna make sure I can stopper it later.
All right. Around 3 o'clock or so in the morning, there's some banging on the front door. It's like someone's trying to open the door.
Dick or
What's that?
I hear it, so I'm gonna check it out.
You go over there and you just look at the window. Cloudman's just there. He's turning the knob and he looks and things. He's just muttering to himself and he turns and he's starting to walk away.
I'm gonna unlock the door and open it.
So, oh, I thought they were closed.
They are.
The fuck are you doing up?
I'm always up.
It's not healthy. Closes the door behind him and throws the locks back into place. You should get some sleep.
If I could.
Oh, you're one of those bastards.
I'm is.
I don't pity you one bit.
Me neither.
Oh, yes, I gotta.
Pretty good lookout though.
That's you are. That's a plus. Listen,
She said if you want a room, put the coin on the counter and grab a key.
that sounds like a good idea. Thanks, and thank you for your help down there. Whatever the hell that was. Just gestures off to the east side of town, in the direction you guys came from.
Ah, let's hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and maybe you slow down a little bit in there. Try not to get yourself killed so often, huh? Not always
For
gonna
the
be
time
around to
being,
save your ass, huh?
if you're around to save my ass, I think I'll be good for a while.
Yeah, what if I'm not always around though, huh?
Then I might slow down.
It's probably a good idea. Ugh, good night, Sinestro. Makes his web steps. Anything else you want to do in the night?
Uh, I am curious about the bar,
Okay.
amount of drinks behind it.
The amount of drinks behind the bar? Alright. Are you gonna be sneaky about this or you just walking behind the bar?
Make a lot of noise, but I'm not gonna be like, they're gone to bed.
I'm just asking what you're
Or
doing.
anything.
Alright, so you go look behind the bar. You go stand in front of the bar, you just peer over. Behind the bar there are on top of the bar itself is it's made of a deep red cherry wood. It stands about 3.5, maybe 4 feet tall. It's about waist height. There are various stools and stuff around the front side of the bar where you are standing. From what you can see behind the bar against the wall, underneath where the bar sits, there are two shelves. On each shelf, there are probably between 15 20 bottles of just various ales, maybe like homebrew beers and the like. Um, the shelf above that, that's sitting on top of the counter, there are some hard liquors like whiskey and vodka and you know malt ale and all that fun shit that has a little more kick to it. The shelf above that, there's on top of the bar itself, the bar level, where all these like the vodka and the harder ales are. There's one shelf above that and then one more above that. So there's a total of three shelves on the top. The mid-level shelf has got what looks to be, from what you can tell, they all have a clear white liquid in it. And just from looking at it at a glance, going around behind the bar, picking one up, opening it, and sniffing it, it's water. They're fancier bottles, and they look to be there for display. There's about 20 of them set up there. They're all various shapes and sizes, and they're very eye-catching. They look appealing, but they're all full of water. The very top shelf, there are various bottles of wine, and just from looking at them through the little bit of light, candlelight that's in the room, you can tell there's not water in those, but they are probably the more expensive, like fine wine bottles. They might notice if one of them goes missing.
I'm not looking to take anything, but I'm open out my future purchases.
Gotcha,
Looking
gotcha.
at some of those fine wine bottles. Uh,
Looking around behind so you see the wine on top there. As you go behind the counter and you look under the bar itself, as where it was facing you. Um, so like if you're staying at the bar, you're facing out to the bar room. Underneath that counter there is a wine rack, and there are various bottles of wine set on the end, draining down so that the wine is going into the cork. Um, Reaching under there, it does feel a little cooler under that part of the bar than it does in any other part. And each of these bottles has a little bit of tint of frost over it. On the far right side, there are 8 bottles lined up here. The far right side, that bottle itself distinctly looks like the bottle that Ezerio keeps in his pouch.
and see what it is.
All right, you take the bottle, you pull it up, turn it there. This bottle is a vintage Silver Moon wine. and on the bottom of the bottle, it's dated 1352. The current year is 1607. So this is some old shit.
But make a note that that's the shit that Zero. All right, that's. I mean, I'm not gonna take to reading my book, hanging out, keeping watch.
Alrighty. Beyond that, the rest of the evening goes uneventful. Nobody else comes and bothers you. Around 5 o'clock or so in the morning, Tim comes stumbling out from behind the that door under the steps. He's he just got his hand down his pants, scratching himself. Fuck, it's too fucking early. He goes, "What the? Someone's. Oh, can I help you, sir? Can I get you something? You hungry?"
Oh no. About your business. I know it's early morning.
All right, all right. And he goes, unlatches the back door, and goes outside and relieves himself somewhere along the side of the building. Comes back in, running his hand through a rag under the bar. And goes about just basically organizing the bottles and stuff. You let me know if you get hungry, you want something.
Whenever you get around to cooking anything, rush.
Fair enough, fair enough. About a half hour or so passes, and he's, oh, I'll be back in 15 minutes or so. Go get some breakfast started up here. So he goes back behind the room, and the door is a little ajar as he goes in. He doesn't close it all the way, and you can see behind that door itself, there's a small little kitchen. It's nothing like, you know, you think just looking and catching a glimpse of it, it's probably way too fucking small for the size of this establishment. But he seems happy about going about his business. He's just making breakfast in there.
About this time, I started waking up to Mike Raven deciding that it was a good idea to poke my head.
As you wake up to see the raven poking your head, you see that little cat sitting on the end of your bed, just watching the raven.
Made a friend, have you?
The raven looks back at the cat, looks at you, looks at the cat, and jumps on your head.
Thanks, buddy.
The cat appears to be bored on the whole thing, just jumps off the bed and walks to the door, and then like bamfs through the door.
All right, I'll head downstairs with my Raven on my head.
Hey, make your way downstairs. Do you have a name for your raven?
I haven't given him one yet.
All right, I just was curious if you gave him a name or not.
I can probably think of one if it ever comes up.
That's fine. If you don't want to give him a name, that's entirely up to you. I just was wondering if there's something I should call him. Anyway, you make your way out. As you're coming out of the room, you see Zerio's already making his way down the steps. Orzel is just starting to bumble his way out of his room. He's like half asleep. He walks into the door. Pardon me. Closes the door and starts making his way downstairs as well. As you guys reach the bottom of the steps, Sinestro is sitting there reading his book.
Morning, sunshine.
Good morning.
Look, he already got us a fucking table. That's MVP there. Serial comes, just plops down next to you. What are you reading?
Nothing special.
Oh. Why the fuck are you reading it then?
Because I'm the only one.
Bored out of his mind.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm the only one who can.
Oh my god, the only one who can. Makes sense.
Somebody's got to read the book.
You know what? You're not wrong. He turns over to things. Can I get some eggs and like, I don't know, what you got, bacon? Ham? I don't fucking care. Yeah, yeah, all right, yeah. And he goes behind and then comes back. He yells back, hash browns! Anyone want hash browns? Zero just waves his hand in the air.
I'll wait
I'll
mine.
wave mine too. Hash browns and bacon are the best part of all breakfast.
100%. So, about 20 minutes or so pass, and he comes out. He's balancing 3 plates on his arm. And he sets them down in front of the three of you. Turns to us. What about you, old man? What do you want? I'll have some tea and. Alright, comes back 5 minutes later, so puts a hot saucer of tea in front of him. Yeah, loaf of bread.
I'm gonna name my raven Morgan.
Morgan?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Morgan the Raven. Is Morgan still perched on your head?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Take a small bit of hash browns, offer it to the raven.
The Raven just greedily pecks it out of your hand, gobbles it down. Seems quite pleased with your offering and jumps off of Sandor's head and starts like bouncing its way over to your plate.
I have. I'm gonna eat as much as I can, and then start giving him like bits of the hash browns, like tossing up in the air and see if he can catch them.
All right. As you are doing this, Uzums is sitting on the table next to Zerio's plate, and it's just like it's down in pouncing position, just wiggling its butt and its tail's flicking, and it's just watching the Raven, waiting for it.
Does my raven notice it's there?
No, your Raven is happily eating the hash browns and whatever the hell Sinestra's giving it.
Also, a question: if the raven is surprised, can it cast my touch cantrip? Like panic or something?
No, your Raven can only cast spells if you initiate the ability to cast spells.
Okay.
Well, if you're surprised, you can do it.
But you have to be actively aware it's going on and actively making it happen for the Raven to do that.
Ah.
So what you're doing is you're casting the spell and you're using the Raven as the conduit. So instead of it coming through you, because the Raven is technically part of you, it is you, it's an extension of yourself. When you cast the spell, the magical energy travels through your connection with the Raven and casts through the Raven instead. It doesn't have any innate magic to itself.
So surprising the raven doesn't necessarily surprise me.
Exactly. The Raven, think of the Raven as a normal bird. The only difference is that it's technically immortal. If it dies, you just have to complete the spell to bring it back, and it comes back as it was. It's the same creature, the same entity, the same personality, soul, whatever you want to use for it, however you want to explain it. It's still the same Raven. It's as if you
Oh,
just
okay.
resurrected it, basically. You don't
Okay.
suffer any penalties when it dies. Depending on how it dies, it might be pissed at you when it comes back. Like if you send it into a blazing inferno and you purposely like put it in danger and it dies that way, unless it's for some grand purpose or to save you or something like that, it'll come back a little pissed at you, but it'll come back.
Okay. Continue.
Anyway, so your Raven is just gleefully picking at Sinestra's plate. Every now and then it gets bold and just reaches out and takes something off the plate. The cat is just sitting there, tail flickering, just watching the Raven, waiting for its guard to be completely down.
Careful, Morgan. You won't be able to fly very soon.
Yes, you say that. Zero looks down at the cat and just like scratches the back of his neck and goes, and just like rolls over on his back and gets his belly rubbed. And then suddenly knows what's going on. It's like it's just like complete irritation on his face, and then goes back to just being completely placid. It's like, damn it, my plan's been foiled. While you are doing that, or well, he's Zero's petting the cat. He mutters something under his breath that none of you understand, talking to the cat. It's a very gentle tone.
I am totally understanding that. Please show me.
Oh, right. On the ride down to Waterdeep, if we're all going to follow Caladwin down there, I'll give you lessons each night. So what this is going to be is each night while you're riding down there, it's going to take from here by wagon down to Waterdeep. It'll take you about 6 days to reach it. Um, what you'll need to do is you'll need to do an intelligence check each night on the ride down, and you need to succeed 15 of them to actually become fluent in the language. So it's going to take more than just this ride down there, but he's telling you now that on the ride down, it's going to be at least 6 guaranteed checks to check toward learning it. And then after that, you're going to need to actively find him to get lessons each night to learn the language. Alrighty?
Does he sleep too?
Who, Zirio? He's an elf. Are you actually asking him this?
I'll ask if he actually sleeps.
So we elves don't sleep. It's kind of like meditation. I'm aware of what's around me, right? I don't move around like you're doing all night here. I'm aware, and I only really need about 4 hours or so, and I'm good to go.
Oh, so you're like halfway between me and Orzal.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. I am probably the oldest one here. He looks to Sandor and goes, I don't know. How old are you, dwarf?
Uh, what age did I put myself at? Hold on one moment. I kind of I'm off and kind of touch my bandages a little bit and say 30.
Oh, you're still a young'un.
I kind of shrug.
Dwarf baby.
I don't know if I'd call any dwarf a baby. Most little bastards are rough at the age of 6 or swinging axes around.
That or a hammer.
That fucking hurts. He reaches down and rubs his shin.
Yeah, there are worse places to be hit with it. I look at Sinestro.
Oh yeah. If it's anything like that gauntlet, I don't want to do it. Oh man. So you guys sit there. As you finish up breakfast, it's getting closer to 8 or so in the morning. As you are finishing up, Caladman comes walking down the steps, yawning, stretching. Oh, so I'm glad I caught you guys. I got a wagon. I'm heading down to Waterdeep here. I'm gonna grab some food and fill myself up, and then I'm gonna be heading out. If you guys want to come with?
I say, yeah, we know. We've been waiting for you to get your ass out of bed all morning.
Oh, sorry, I went to fucking bed at 3 o'clock.
Can my Raven mimic Sinestro's like some sentence?
I don't think. Does your Raven have mimicry? It might.
It does.
Yeah, then I can.
I wanted to do it.
Yeah, go for it.
Say what I said.
You need to make a DC check for your Raven.
What's a DC check?
You need to roll a Wisdom check for the Raven, so it's D20 plus 1. It's the Raven's Wisdom. It has to succeed a DC of 10 to be able to mimic.
Nope.
Oh, it says the sentence, but it's not in his voice. It has that telltale tint and call of a bird in it. But the sentence still comes out.
Probably want a cracker.
Anyway, that's he sits down and orders some breakfast and chows it down. Eats it quick, like he's ready to fucking
Hand
go.
him the rest of my plate and hope the raven follows it.
As you go to pick the plate up, the raven jumps on your plate and just starts pecking the food off of it.
Oh my god. I hand it to. I think this is yours.
Morgan? Oh yeah.
I think Morgan claimed that plate.
just hand the whole plate to him.
You just kind of like scoot the plate across the table. The bird is what's doing it. It just balances itself, and it looks a little irritated at you as you're moving the plate, but it continues to eat the hash browns and stuff off of it. With that, you guys finish up your breakfast. Calabin goes over to the stables to the older woman at the desk. What's the going rate to rent horses I need to get down to Waterdeep? Um, she says, "Oh, if you're going to Waterdeep, take them to the stables at the North Gate and tell them to bring them back here, and I'll next time you're through, I'll refund half of your price. But for that long, you're going to need good stable horses. It's going to be 12 gold per horse." He shrugs and rifles through his pocket, pulls out 24 gold, and throws it on the counter. She nods and yells back to Siri, "Yeah, 2 drafts! Get them ready!" That same burly guy with the eye patch and bitched up arm goes, fucking early for shit. Rumbles up, goes to the back door and gets horses ready. By the time you guys go out front, he's standing there with the reins, the 2 horses waiting for you.
Whatever happened to the stable hand where Sinestro stole his pants?
That's the same guy.
Does he have pants?
He's wearing pants now.
Darn it.
They appear to be a little size too big for him, and he's got a real thick rope like tied around his waist, holding them up.
Some pants from someone else.
He just found some pants to wear.
I'm gonna look at him and say, "You should really get those fitted better."
I had a nice pair of pants, and some fucking ass took them. Whatever.
Keep your pants on then. What the hell?
Maybe he was having some fun. We don't know.
I forgot that shit.
Anyway, so you guys go out front, or is someone going to go grab Lacuna, or are you going to leave her up there at Flint's Forge Gated Rooks?
I mean, we can grab her. Want to come?
I mean, it's up to you guys. I'm sure she'll probably
I'll
come
go
along with
see
you.
if she's there.
All right, so
She's gonna be here next week.
I don't know if she's going to be here next week.
And she can stay in the wagon or wander around Waterdeep while we're there.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
either way,
I won't.
yeah. We might just take a break next week if you're not going to be here and she's not going to be here. It's probably the best course of action.
I don't know if she's gonna be here next week or if she was supposed to be not here this week.
She said she'd be coming back into town late this week. Anyway, we're at 10:50 now. I think what we'll do is we'll say you guys get everyone together. Someone goes and grabs Lacuna, and you all just basically you gather up and get ready to head out to Waterdeep. So you're all loaded in the wagon. You head off south. You're leaving town, and we'll pick that up next time we play. We'll pick up the journey down to Waterdeep.
Huzzah.
All right. I think that's a good stopping point for us for tonight.
I get to drive, and this is my animal handling check.
You just managed to meet the DC needed for it. Keep the animals in control. You're moving at a steady pace. You're not making better time than otherwise, but you're not losing time either. Alrighty, with that, I'm just gonna grab everybody here, and we'll move everyone to the south end of the map. As you guys follow the long road and begin making your way south out of the town toward Waterdeep.
I'm driving.
All right,
Yeah,
you're
you
driving.
know.
Whatever, man. You're driving. You already said that.
Get out of here, Lorenzo. Get out of the front. What are you doing? Taking up my spot.
All right, so you're not going to be here the 17th, right, son?
Yeah, I probably won't be here.
Okay. We know Orzal's not going to be here, and we're not sure about Lacuna. So why don't we say we're going to take the 17th off? We'll pick this back up the 24th then.
Okay.
Alrighty. Lacuna did mention she wanted to do like a little one-shot game over the weekend, so um, if you guys want to keep an eye on Discord and jump in on that, we can, I don't know, maybe pick up a little more and continue the March Down Waterdeep sometime over this weekend if you guys are all available and do that.
I'll be around.
If you're interested in doing that and you think you're going to be free over the weekend, I can shoot you guys a text message or ping Discord.
Just let me know, and I'll probably be around. I got nothing going on.
All right. So I'll just shoot you a text message if she wants to do that, and if we're able to push this a little further, since we're not going to be running 17th, that's probably better than not missing that entirely. With that, I'm going to click this end stream button, and we'll pick it up then.